What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome to my banner analysis of the Ganglot and Ascended Tiki banner. So we did know that she was coming up because she was in the Tempest trial and she does come with the Arcane Axe. I'll be making a full video on the best users of Arcane Axe in a couple of hours, so be on the lookout for that. So she is an Axe infantry unit and she has got Arcane Downfall. The weapon has not really changed from Tempest trial. It does give you -1 special cooldown and +5 to all of your stats, and also special acceleration on both your hits and the opponent's hits. So it can make it pretty easy for you to retaliate back with specials like Iceberg, Bonfire, and run Godlike Reflexes and then loop it. And it can also be useful if you just want to use it in the player phase with something like Surge Sparrow. So I'll be going over all of that in my Arcane tier list video. And then this weapon also heals you up for 7 HP in the combat per hit. So it's not post-combat healing, it's the in-combat healing. So that is definitely pretty good for the longevity. Unfortunately, Ganglot herself does not really come with a preferred skill, which would have really helped her stand out. And that's definitely pretty unfortunate because if you compare, Rearmed Grima to Ganglot, you will just find that Rearmed Grima is so much better because of the preferred skill that she has got. And they could have definitely done something like that for her, maybe slot C. But she does have a pretty stacked base kit. So it is going to be helpful in the skill duplication that you can do with the Rearmed Heroes. And she's got Iceberg, Distance Stance, Quick Riposte 4. Yeah, we got Quick Riposte 4 before we got Quick Riposte 3 in the 4-star pool, which is pretty crazy. So the threshold of Quick Riposte 4 is definitely much better. You need to be above 25% HP, and you can also get 25% damage reduction on foe's first attack, and also get the Garunteed Follow Up attack. So this is going to be a pretty nice skill for a lot of slow units that lack auto follow up, and this can also give them some kind of damage reduction. And this is going to be competing with a lot of the good slot B skills that we have got, but if you just want to tank in the enemy phase, then the damage reduction and the better HP threshold is definitely helpful. And you can just run something else in your Sacred Seal instead of running Quick Riposte Sacred Seal and just get some extra stats. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty decent slot B skill that is going to be 300 SP and can be used for increasing your arena scoring. And it does have good synergy with Arcane Downfall because it's an arcane weapon which doesn't give you guaranteed follow-up attack. So if you're going to be inheriting her Arcane Axe to a slower unit, then Quick Riposte 4 is definitely going to be helping them. And she also has Joint Distant Guard, so you can actually inherit Arcane Downfall, Distant Counter, Distant Stance, and Quick Riposte 4 at the same time. And if your unit already has Distant Counter, then you can actually inherit all 4 of these skills, which is pretty insane. So she is definitely going to be pretty useful as a rearmed infantry unit as a skill duplication usage, because she can get so many of these skills and then you can pass on to the units who are going to be getting that arcane weapon essentially. So yeah, I don't think that her stats are going to be much different either from the Tempest trial. We do know her stats from the data mine, and we also have her growth rates. So she's going to be having attack and defense super boon by the looks of it. And I don't think they're going to be changing her stats too much because she does look like a rather slower unit. So she's probably going to be having base 30 speed with 44 base attack and then 38 defense and 35 resistance. So overall, she doesn't really stand out too much because Arcane Downfall can be given to other units and they can just make better use out of it than Ganglot. She definitely has, higher BST than a lot of the units and can score as a 190 BST unit. But then again, arcane weapons don't really score as much as a legendary weapon. So I really wish she came with some kind of exclusive skill so that she could stand out a bit more. But yeah, that is going to be our Rearmed Axe unit. So a lot of Axe units are going to be able to use her Arcane Downfall to really good effect. And then we have the regular Hardin, not the fallen version, so he's finally out of the alt hell in a sense, and he is a Lance Cavalier this time. And even though Lance Cavaliers are very saturated and it's pretty competitive, Hardin can definitely stand out as a hybrid unit who can function well in the combat and also provide some support. So his weapon can provide him with -1 special cooldown. At start of turn, if he's within 3 spaces of any kind of ally, then he can give himself and any kind of cavalry ally in 3 spaces +6 attack and speed buff and the guaranteed follow-up attack for the player phase. So the guaranteed follow-up attack is kind of similar to the status effect that you get out of August, Future Vision 2 of Legendary Lucina, and then Naga giving you that with her remake skill. So it's kind of similar to that. So he could be run with someone like Brave Crom, for example, to give him more status. And he could definitely be used in Aether Raids defense on like a Cav line, I suppose, if you still run that. So cavalry units are going to be able to get that guaranteed follow-up attack in the player phase, which is pretty good. And especially if you're a fast Cavalier, then the auto follow-up attack pretty much becomes like a pseudo half null follow-up for you, because if you're fast, then you can win the speed check against a lot of the follow-up denial units and still double them. And that is pretty much what Hardin does himself, because he's going to be pretty fast. He comes with Surge Sparrow and attack speed near trace, so he doesn't really need like a flow skill in a sense, because he can give this status to himself and pretty much double through a lot of the follow-up negation units just by being faster than them. And then this weapon can also give him +6 attack and speed in combat and 40% damage reduction from foe's first attack. And finally, he can also get true damage depending on the spaces moved by whoever initiated. So it is kind of like a clash skill, and this true damage can go up to 9. So it's not the most amount of true damage, especially, you know, compared to Brave Erica. And we also have Brave Crom, who's really good with his assist, but still overall I feel like Hardin is going to be a pretty solid unit, and the support that he provides is going to be useful in game modes like Aether Raids defense, and of course in Summoner Duels if you run a lot of Cavaliers. So he's pretty solid, but not exactly too insane. And I do think that he's going to be having pretty good base speed at base 43, and he is going to be having pretty good attack as well. Resistance is pretty much going to be something that he's going to be dumping like a lot of Cavaliers, so that is what I expect out of him. We also have the 4-star focus and the 4-star demote of this banner, and pretty much the first Gen 7 healer in Princess Nyna. So she is a staff infantry unit, and I hope that we can really get arcane staff at some point, because staff units definitely have it pretty hard. And she actually comes with a pretty amazing inheritable staff in Respite Plus. So this is essentially the non-seasonal version of Tannin Baton Plus, which you could have gotten from Divine Codes 3 from Sephron. But now that we have it available in the normal summoning pool with Nyna, you can pretty much inherit like Odd Recovery 3 from Sephron and make use of that, and also get attack resistance push 4 at the same time with the recovery skill. So this is a pretty amazing supportive staff, because it has got Drive, Defense, and Resistance 1, and also Drive Guard. So Drive Guard is absolutely amazing when you're going to be using her with tanks or any kind of save units, because they can be free from running any kind of stand skill, and they can just run something else like a Unity skill or Distant Defense 4 or Close Defense 4. So that option is going to be open, and giving the guard effect to a tank or a frontliner is always going to be helpful. So I'm pretty happy that this weapon is a lot easily available now. And she also comes with Sabotage Speed 3, which we were definitely missing from the Grail and the normal summoning pool. Sabotage attack is present on Limstella and also on Salem. We do have Sabotage Resistance on Halloween Sophia and Solon, and we're pretty much just missing Sabotage Defense at this point. And having Sabotage Speed also means that the value of the 5-star limited ephemera in Ewan is definitely a lot lower, because that was pretty much the skill that he provided as an ephemera unit. So Nyna definitely comes with some nice skills. As for her stats, I do think that she's going to be pretty fast at base 42. Keep in mind that she's facing like a 3-star Red Bow Archer here, so that's not really much to go off of. But still, I tried to calculate her attack from there, and I think that she's going to be having around like base 37 attack. And because she does come with a sabotage skill, she's probably going to be having more than like 34 resistance at the very least, I think. So that is our 4-star demote. I definitely like the animation of this staff. I'm really happy that it's available now. And she, like, her art is just so amazing. It's like deserving of a legendary and mythic status. I'm just such a big fan of the art. But sadly, she's just a demote and a healer, and is going to be waiting for the arcane staff. The final unit and the strongest unit in my opinion out of this banner is going to be Ascended Young Tiki. So whenever I thought there would be some kind of Ascended unit for Arcane, I think maybe Minerva could happen or Lind could happen, but Young Tiki is here as the Ascended unit, and this time she is a red infantry dragon like her original version, like the very first version, and she's definitely going to be a trainee unit, so she's going to be having more BST than a regular Gen 7 dragon. She's got Awoken Breath, which can give her minus and special cooldown, and she also has effective damage against other dragons. She can get +5 to all of her stats in the combat, and she also has these special charges similar to Arcane Downfall, where the special charges are given to you on your own attacks and on foes attacks. So this means that you can retaliate back with Iceberg, and that is going to be having really good synergy with a finish kill. And then she also has a dull all effect, meaning that she can neutralize any of foes' buffs. And then finally she has the decharging similar to Brave Tiki, depending on her resistance. We have also seen this on Duo Duma, of course, who's another red dragon, but he was an armor dragon. And Tiki here is going to be an infantry dragon and much faster than Brave Tiki. So this kind of decharging pretty much makes her a lot more immune to lethality, Deadeye, and all of that, which is definitely pretty nice because she does get the damage reduction from her slot C, and being able to decharge those damage reduction piercing specials is really helpful. So we have seen Duo Duma and even Brave Tiki use this effect really well, so Ascended Tiki is going to be no different, and she can function as a pretty nice mixed phase unit because of this effect. So it's a bit sad that one of the niches of Brave Tiki is taken by Young Tiki. She does not really have the instant special like Brave Tiki, for example. Like Brave Tiki does not care about guard. This Tiki can still get annoyed by the guard, as she'll not be able to, retaliate back with Iceberg. So that's pretty much the thing which Brave Tiki has got. And Brave Tiki also has damage reduction, where it's not just on foes' first attack. So that's also something to account for. So this young Ascended Tiki has got speed resistance finish, which is perfect with this kind of weapon, which gives you special acceleration. She also has speed resistance bulwark, which is going to be amazing in Aether Raids Chaos and in Summoner Duels S. And finally, she has got her exclusive skill altogether, which has got Joint Drive Spectrum built into it. So she can give other allies within 2 spaces +4 to all of their stats and get that herself, which is definitely pretty good. And then she can also get damage reduction from foes' first attack by 40%, depending on the allies within 2 spaces. So if there are 2 allies within 2 spaces of her, then she can get 40% damage reduction. If there's only 1 ally, then she can get 20% damage reduction. And if there's no ally, obviously she does not get any kind of damage reduction. She also has boosted damage reduction when it comes to the AoE specials. So if there are 2 allies within 2 spaces of her, then she can get up to 80% damage reduction on the AoE attacks. And if there's just 1 ally, then she can still get the 40% damage reduction against the AoEs. So keep in mind that the damage reduction that she gets on the regular attacks is maximum up to 40%, but the damage reduction that she gets against the AoE attacks is up to 80%. So she's going to be able to deal with Duo Thor, with Spring Sonia a lot better than a lot of the units because of this kind of damage reduction, which makes her a pretty good frontliner in Summoner Duels and also in Aether Raids Chaos. Keep in mind that the damage reduction is only on the first hit, so if they have some kind of Brave attack or Brattle Katria, then she's going to be taking that full damage on the second hit. As for her stats, I think it's going to be pretty similar to the original version of Tiki, where she has got stats for most of the things. Like she's got decent attack, speed, and bulk overall. She's definitely going to be faster than Brave Tiki, so she's not going to be like an exact copy, at least when it comes to the stat spread. So she's going to be able to use Null Follow Up Sacred Seal and also benefit out of the Null Follow Up effect and a Droid Captain, for example, in Summoner Duels. And so that speed can definitely enable her to be a lot more annoying by denying the follow-up attacks of the enemies. And she can also work pretty well in Summoner Duels as a raid boss herself, where you can just buff her up with bonus doubler with Legendary Eliwood, and she can also function as an anti-raid boss unit herself because she neutralizes any kind of foe's buffs. So if the opponent is using some kind of bonus doubler strategy, then Tiki does not care about that, while benefiting from it herself if you run Legendary Eliwood yourself. So that is definitely pretty significant, and her Bulwark skill is definitely going to be pretty nice there. It is also going to be very nice in Aether Raids Chaos, where you can only use 1 save unit, so that can also be done. And she could also be used in the Anima season, for example, with like Elimine to easily tank it. You could also use her in the Light season, but keep in mind that Brattle Catcher teams are a bit more common. So overall, Ascended Tiki is a pretty solid unit, all things considered, with her preferred weapon and her exclusive skill. And she also brings a new finish skill, and also a new Bulwark skill in a way for the dragons. So yeah, she is going to be triggering her Iceberg. As we saw, she can just retaliate back with it. And in this trailer, we actually come across a pretty important information that Embla is actually a red enemy. She's not a green enemy like Hel, Freya, or anything like that. She is a red beast, as we can see over here. So there are definitely quite a lot of chances that she's present in the Legendary banner at the end of this month, color sharing with Elm, just the Master and Servant, which has happened before with the double OCs with Triandra and Freya. So she could be a Wind Legendary unit or maybe a Dark Mythic, but I'm leaning more towards a Wind Legendary unit, honestly, because on the calendar it does say that there is a Legendary banner, and obviously Embla is Embla compared to Elm. So that's why I think that she might be a Wind Legendary, but time will definitely tell. I kind of expected it, to be honest, because Ash and Ask are also colorless. And we also have our instant demote unit in Elice, and she's going to be added directly into the 3-star, 4-star pool. And she is sister of Marth, and she does come with Trilemma plus staff, which is amazing. I have no idea why they 5-star logged that staff. It is definitely going to be helpful in something like Arena Assault, for example. And seeing this combat, I think that she probably has Attack Resistance Ideal as her slotty skill. She is a 4-star unit here in this combat, keep in mind. So that's why I think that she probably has Attack Res Ideal too at 4-star, and then you have to unlock her to 5-star to get the version 3. And she probably has Attack Res O3 to go with it as her slotty skill. And I think that she's probably going to be having more attack but less speed than Nyna. We have 2 staff units from the same banner essentially. So I think they're at least going to be doing that to differentiate them. And she's going to be having more balanced bulk instead of having lower defense like Nyna. So at like max merges, she can have a bit better bulk in a sense. Finally, we've got Matthis as the Grand Hero Battle unit of this patch, and he is a Lance Cavalier. He's the brother of Lena, and he doesn't really have any kind of preferred weapon. He does have Vulture Lance Plus from what I can see from the sprite. So yeah, you know, we have gotten a very good Lance Cavalier before in Geralt, who has got an amazing support weapon, and he can really function well competitively as well. So Matthis is definitely not going to be standing out much compared to Geralt. He's probably going to be faster than Geralt, but even then, until we get some kind of Arcane Lance, it's not going to be very impressive. And we already have, you know, Lance Cavaliers like Brave Crom, Brave Erica, and now Hardin. So Matthis is only there for the people who are big fans of him or they like his art. Overall, this banner is not really too insane. Even the Rearmed hero herself is not really standing out that much because of having no preferred skill. So this banner is capable for the most part, unless you want to get the Arcane Axe, or you want to get Hardin for his support, or Tiki for her Floret, or just to function in Summoner Duels S as a pretty solid frontliner. Let me know in the comments what you think about this banner, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using super thanks or by becoming a YouTube member down below as well. And for more videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I wish YouTube sub boxes would show my videos as many times as we have got Young Tiki alts. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.